Welcome to the Brent Apple Regional Training Centre. My name's Simon Pyle. I'm an Apple Distinguished Educator and I manage the Regional Training Centre from Anson Primary School. We're delighted to be joining the University of South Wales for the Digital Day once again, and this time we're going to focus on the Apple Teacher Portfolio. Now, I know you've been doing a lot of work with the Apple Teacher Portfolio and really thinking about how you might integrate it into your teaching experience. And so what we're going to do today is to look at some elements of the science curriculum and see if we can show you how to utilize Apple technology to be able to embed the principles of the Apple Teacher Portfolio in your teaching. So here we are in the Apple Teacher Portfolio. We're just going to scroll down to the Activate session. Now this is really where we introduce ideas or activate prior knowledge. And in our session today, we're going to utilize Keynote to be able to try and show that knowledge. There are many activities that you could use, but we're going to use a simple sorting activity. Let's assume the children already know things that are magnetic and things that aren't, and we just want to capture that understanding. So in Keynote, we're just going to add a basic shape of a circle. I like to click on the constrain proportions. So by selecting the circle and the format tool, we can constrain the proportions. So when we make it larger, it remains a circle at all times. You can see in the style section there, I've just put a border in and I've made it white in the background. I'm going to select that and copy it and then paste it. So now we've got our two circles. Now one of those circles is going to be magnetic. So let's click on the plus sign, and in the basic shapes, we can choose a text box. So all the magnetic things are going to go in this circle, and all the non-magnetic things, let's just copy and paste that, are going to go into the other circle. Now, one of the great reasons for using Keynote to do this is what happens next. So as you know, there are over 500 shapes within Keynote, and by clicking on that plus sign and searching for some objects, we can see some things that might be magnetic. Here's a knight's helmet. By selecting the knight's helmet and clicking the format tool, we can change the color into its silver knightly metal. We can do the same with the key. And as you'll begin to see, as we add in things that are magnetic, they all tend to become this metallic color. It's a great visual representation very quickly of what is magnetic and what is not. And so by adding in the pig, we can see something pink. And if we just look at this final slide once it's all done, you can clearly see there's some kind of relationship between the material an object is made of and whether it's magnetic. So a really simple starter just to get you going. Now, the next section of the Apple Teacher Portfolio is to explore. Now, the explore section really helps them explore new information and connect ideas. And there's a really lovely activity that you can do in the explore section, which allows students to showcase their learning. And it's called Make a Photo Poster. Now, within that particular activity, when you click on it, there is a downloadable template in Pages that you can use. And so just by clicking on that downloadable template, we can, rather than using the Get Outside example, we can use our own template that we adapt from this. Now, personally, I would prepare this in advance for all of the pupils and then either airdrop it or place it in the cloud for them to gather. And what we're going to do is we're just going to change the title of that. So it's going to say My Circuits. They can add in their name when they do it. And then this lovely box that we've got, which is a media placeholder, we're just going to resize so that we can place 4 media placeholders within the section. I'm going to copy and paste those through. Now, the concept of the session is that you're going to ask the students to make 4 circuits. We'll just label those circuits underneath. We're going to make a very simple circuit out of materials, and then we're going to take a photograph of that and drop it into this media placeholder. We're also going to make a series circuit, parallel circuits, and parallel circuits with switches. And what the pupils are able to do is they're able to showcase their learning by taking the pictures and sharing the document with you. But you're also able to assess how successful they are at working with these circuits. So each of these media placeholders has a little plus sign on it. Just by clicking on that plus sign, we can then choose as photo or video. I've got some circuits that I've already prepared here in a little circuits folder, okay? A little album that I've created in photos. So there's my simple circuit that's gone in. And if we just go through, you'll see I'm going to then add in my series circuit. So I've got a simple flow around the circuit and 2 bulbs, and I can see that diagram shows that student or pupil really understands how that works. Parallel circuits in a similar way. Have we just set up another series circuit, or have we actually made a parallel circuit? And the parallel circuit with switches, which is a lot more complicated to be able to build. And if you get the wires in the wrong place, then the bulbs will just light up because you'll create a continuous complete circuit. But it's quite interesting to use this as a tool to be able to assess learning. And so my finished poster can then be shared as a PDF, airdropped to the class teacher, or we can take a screenshot of it and create an image. Okay, so that's the explore section. Now the apply section is almost like the project-based section. And here we're going to utilize the skills of Keynote and drawing, as well as clips to be able to create a movie to show that we really understand how these circuits work and that we can almost explain it. Now, there are loads of examples within the apply, but this is a pretty bespoke one. So we're going to click on the plus sign and use the drawing tools. And what I'm going to do first of all is just draw a very simple circuit. So here we go, here's my battery. There we go, fabulous. It's got a little positive and a negative on it. And now I'm just going to complete my circuit round. I'm going to leave space at the top, just about here actually, for a switch to go in. So let's carry that on. And then on this section, this is where I'm going to put my bulb. So we'll be able to see the bulb lit up in a moment, hopefully. And then let's just complete the circuit, bring it round and into the battery again. So I'm going to use the fill tool to fill my bulb. Let's just fill that in with a gray because the circuit's not yet complete. And I'll also fill in the battery as well. Let's just color that in purple for now. And if we just now switch the tool to an orange pen, you can see here that I'm just going to draw a switch that at the moment is open, which is why the bulb is grey. Now, clicking on the slide, I can duplicate that slide when the little menu comes up. And if I just pinch and zoom, I'm now going to use some precision tools to rub out that switch. I want to then draw the switch back in to close the circuit. And as a result of closing the circuit, I can show that I understand that the bulb will come on. Now this is fine. I've drawn my simple circuit. And as you can see, if I press play, my circuit closes and I get this lovely lit up bulb. Now I can export that as an animated GIF if I want to, so that it completely loops all the time. It will just be opening and closing with the bulb flashing on and off. I just need to make sure I select both the slides from slide 1 to slide 2. But if we export that as a movie instead, then we can do something quite special with it. So here we are in clips. And what I've done here is I've got my movie saved of my animation. I've duplicated the slides a few more times so the switch opens and closes a lot more. And as you can see, it's about 2 seconds before that first switch closes. So I'm just going to record by holding down the red button. And as that switch has closed at that particular point, what I'm now going to do is just next to the menu at the bottom, you can see the star. I'm going to select on the font icon, the uppercase and lowercase a, and I'm just going to come down and select a nice simple label. And all I want to say is that when the switch is open, the circuit is not complete. And so the bulb doesn't light up, of course. I can then drag that anywhere I like on my slide. There we go. Now from this point, I'm going to record again. And this time you'll see the switch there going up, opening, closing, the light bulb going on and off. And what I'm going to do on this clip, I've got to select the clip at the bottom, click on that star button, select the same label, and then type in the contents again. So when the switch is closed, the circuit completes and the bulb lights up. You can click and zoom and drag that into place. And so what I end up with is the ability for me to be able to play back that video. When the switch is open, the circuit's not complete. When the switch is closed, the circuit completes and the bulb lights up, which is lovely. Now, if we skip forward a bit, I've now done that for all 4 of my circuits. The idea being that I'm able to show as a learner that I completely understand how each of these circuits works. And so I've got my video with all of its labels on, ready to go. The last thing to do is just to click on that star button again. And rather than selecting our own photos, we're going to click on the posters icon this time. The posters icon will allow us, if we scroll down, let's just whip down to the bottom, there's a beautiful science poster that we can use called Science Facts. I'm just going to adapt that and type in the title, which is going to be electrical circuits. I'm going to hold down the record button to record that in. There we go. And now I'm just going to tap on that at the bottom and you'll see the duplicate sign. So I'm going to duplicate that, hold it down and drag it to the front. So I've now got my poster at the front and my poster at the end as well. There it goes, just runs through. That's looking good. Into the first simple electrical circuit. Very nice. Now, at the top right-hand corner, I can click the music icon and select a soundtrack as well. The soundtracks are great because they automatically fit with your film, so you don't have to do any editing. Let's just choose this one. And as you play it through, you'll notice that it will literally clip it to the length of your movie. So all that I need to do now, and I can't show you this completely because names appear. So for GDPR, I've clicked on the export icon, which is the little square with the arrow coming out the top, and I'm just saving this video to my photos. So let's have a look at the finished product. So there we go. In a very short space of time, we've managed to activate our learning by checking on their prior knowledge, using the shape tools within Keynote and all of the icons and coloring them so we can clearly see that there's some relationship between the material that's magnetic and materials that are non-magnetic. And we've done an explore section, the explore section taking the poster format, the photo poster format, and using it almost as an assessment tool and a way of children being able to share their learning using photographs of their hands-on material. And then our final section, the apply section, we've looked at creating drawings of our circuits, animating them by duplicating slides and just changing the switches and the light bulbs. And we've pulled all of those circuits into clips to make a movie as a project. So I hope that's been useful for you as part of the Digital Day at the University of South Wales. Please do come back to the Brent Apple Regional Training Centre YouTube channel to be able to engage with more content over the next few months. Thank you for watching.